It's been 4 days. 4 days since the coronation night of Miss Universe 2025, and I am still here in front of your screens talking about Miss Universe and drama and things that are going on. You guys are probably tired of seeing my face. I wouldn't blame you. I will be tired too. But this morning I woke up and there's a brand new controversy about what is going on with Miss Universe and the outcome of the entire thing. And at this point, people are split whether you like Fatima or you don't, whether you see it or you don't. But today, after receiving a huge amount of backlash and a lot of criticism and people questioning the outcome of Miss Universe 2025 with Mexico taking the crown, Raul decided to go on an interview on a morning show in Mexico where he talked about the main reason why basically the front runner of the competition, who was supposed to be Olivia Yacé from Côte d'Ivoire, did not win the crown. And what he said will actually surprise you. And honestly, I'm still like processing it. If you are not surprised by this, then we need to talk because hello, what is going on here? So I'm gonna tell you guys what I think about this, the things that he brought up, the topics, and just kind of break it down because this is highly, 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 highly alarming. Let's get right into it. I don't have a lot of time. I have things to do. So let's watch it and let's talk about it.
Para los que dicen de Côte d'Ivoire, que por qué no ganó, hay muchas cosas que se valoran, Adela. Es una cosa importante.
A ver.
Côte d'Ivoire necesita, entren a Google, todos tienen ahí un celular, y busquen cuántos países necesita Côte d'Ivoire vista para poder entrar.
Basically, he's saying that a lot of people were questioning him about the outcome of the competition. How come Cote d'Ivoire did not win the pageant since she was considered to be the fan favorite, as I mentioned in the beginning? And then he said, you know what? I'm going to tell you, take out your phone. Everyone has a phone and go on Google and look up the visas for Cote d'Ivoire. How many countries Cote d'Ivoire needs visa in order for them to travel to those countries?
Côte d'Ivoire vista para poder entrar, 175. ¿Qué? Sí, 175. La chamba es por un año de Miss Universe. 175 países le piden visa a Côte d'Ivoire. Pues Adela, pues ya no, entonces va a ser la Miss Universe que se la pasó todo un año en un apartamento, porque uno, el costo que te representa el trámite de visas con abogados, unas de ellas se requieren 6 meses de anticipación, no, pues ya se fue el año, ¿verdad?
So he proceeded to say, well, when you look it up, if you go on Google, grab your phone, go on Google, look it up, how many countries does Cote d'Ivoire needs visa in order for them to travel to those countries? It's over 175 countries, 175. And because of that, it will take so long for them to process all the visas and it will be so expensive for them just to, process all of those documents with the lawyers and this and that. And then he said, the job of a Miss Universe lasts for 1 year. So if that's the case, she will be the first Miss Universe who's just going to stay in a condo, like in an apartment. Let's keep watching.
Pues hay muchas cosas que se valoran que la gente, los misólogos, los fans y todo eso, pues no les alcanza para poder determinar y decir, ¿cómo? Pues claro, queremos que sea Universe. Okay. La que más viaje y más contacto tenga con gente en el mundo. Pues si le piden visa en 175 países, está medio difícil, ¿no?
And then the last part, I don't know why we are catching strays over here, because the last part, he's talking about the mixologists and, the content creators who make content about pageants. People like me, who follow the competition and who talk about it, who make content when it comes to that. And he says, these people, they demand so many things, they talk about so many things, but they don't have enough to understand that, if they want the girl to travel so much and meet with so many influential people, then she needs to have a good passport, because 175 countries and processing the visas, that's gonna be a big, amount of work, basically. But that's what he's saying over here. Guys, I thought this wouldn't get any worse, considering that yesterday Olivia resigned from her position as the reigning Miss Universe Africa and Oceania. I thought that was going to be the end of it and that Miss Universe was just going to maybe just give the title to someone else. But then he came up with this interview. And so let me tell you a couple of things and share my thoughts when it comes to this entire thing. Because first and foremost, this is highly unethical. I don't know why Raul wanted to go on this morning show and give this type of statements. I don't know who's advising him on this, but this is literal like business unaliving. At no point during the Miss Universe pageant, whether it is with the national directors, whether it is with the contestant agreements, whether it is anything, there is no point within the competition where the national director, the teams, or the contestants are informed that in order for you to win Miss Universe, you need to be the passport holder of a specific country, or that you need to have a specific visa, or that you need to have access to specific privileges when it comes to travel. It is supposed to be a competition that is equal to everyone. And if this was the case, if this is something that is actually being taken into consideration, why is the organization providing licenses to countries who technically do not have a strong passport? If this is one of the things that you will take into consideration as a criteria on whether or not you give the crown to a contestant, then why are you even accepting a national director and providing a license to that country, taking their money, knowing that the fees for a Miss Universe license, it is not cheap. It is really not cheap. So you're okay taking the money, giving them the hopes that they might be able to win the crown. But when the time comes and they delivered and they put in the work and they did everything that needed to do, then at that point, oh, we cannot do it because your passport is a little weak and, she needs to travel. That's the job. Does that grant a refund? Like, are we getting our money back or something? Because another thing that doesn't sit right with me is the fact that he's just assuming that Olivia is not the holder of a dual citizenship. I mean, like, so many of the contestants who actually go to Miss Universe are American citizens, or they live in Europe, in different countries. And although they might represent one nation, they are the holders of different passports. Who says that she doesn't have a US visa? As a matter of fact, Olivia Yacé is a US citizen. This is like documented. Like, you can find it on the internet. If you look it up, the information is available that Olivia Yacé is a US citizen. And with an American passport, most countries are visa-free, or even she could get visas on arrival while traveling to the vast majority of countries in the world. This is also a red flag that there has been no research at all into like the background of the girl and what she is and who she is. Because do you guys know who Olivia's dad is? Do you know in what business they are? Do you know in what industry they work? They are diplomats. They are diplomats. They're politicians. They're business people within the family. Olivia could easily have a diplomat passport if she wanted to, which will open the doors to the world, quite literally. So this entire excuse of a weak passport in order not to give her the title, it's complete BS. I'm sorry, but there's no way to put it other than BS. That entire passport explanation is factually incorrect and logistically irrelevant. If being the holder of a strong passport is one of the things that you're going to be taking into consideration, first of all, you need to disclose this from the very beginning, from the start. Why do countries who have weak passports then they have to pay the full license fee for their contestants in order to send someone to Miss Universe, knowing that they have weaker chances of winning? And why would they even send delegates that apparently cannot even win? They're not winnable because the organization doesn't see them as worthy of a title because they won't be able to travel as much, right? In this instance, we're talking about Olivia, who is a dual citizen and who has access to perhaps even a diplomat passport, who could there's ways for her to arrange this whole thing to make the reign work. But what message are you sending to girls who are coming from countries with a weak passport and who actually do not have a dual citizenship, who do not have an American visa, who do not have access to a diplomat passport? What are you telling them? Yeah, you can come, you can join, you can try your best, but I'm sorry, you cannot win because, it's the passport. It's the passport. It's not you, it's the passport. If a passport is going to be part of the criteria, how come Miss Universe Singapore being the country with the strongest passport in the world, how come Miss Universe Singapore didn't even place within the top 30? If a passport is going to be part of the criteria, she should have been all the way up to the top 5. How come she wasn't? How come other countries within the actual top 5 who had stronger passports than Mexico didn't go further or even win the crown? Because there were countries with strongest passports in there. So if we want to talk about passports, then we're going to talk about it, right? That explanation is just so inconsistent, and it comes across as a way to simply justify the controversy that is going on around Fatima's win. And again, it has nothing to do with Fatima. I feel so bad for Fatima because she has been dragged into something that has absolutely nothing to do with her. And I feel like she's the one actually paying the price for the entire things. I also ask myself, isn't Miss Universe an international organization who has been established and respected and appreciated internationally? So one would assume that they have the contacts, to talk to ambassadors and embassies and just kind of facilitate the process of a visa. How come Miss Universe is completely relying on the title holder and the candidates to be able to travel themselves? You as an organization have the responsibility to build the network and the connections in order to take care of your title holder. That is your ambassador. Like when you decide to pick a girl and crown her, you are taking care of them. Okay? Why are you complaining to us about all the legal fees that you will have to pay dealing with the lawyers applying for the visas? That's not our problem. The pageant fans voted. The pageant fans, they watched the show. They watched the ads. A lot of us even supported by buying merch. You guys saw my Tumblr that I have from Miss Universe the last day. Like I bought it. So we are doing our part. National directors are paying thousands upon thousands, and some of them are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars, close to $1 million per franchise per year. Why are you talking to us about legal fees? That's on you. You take that to your accountant department and you deal with it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. That's not my problem. Why does it feel like they're just running around in circles trying to justify their decision? At least just stand up on it. Like stand up on business and be like, you know what? I liked Fatima. I'm Mexican. She's Mexican. I saw it for her. Or there was some business interest behind the scenes. I don't know. Whatever it was allegedly. Stand up on it. Like it's okay. It's your business. You run the business, but at least be honest about it. There's no need to gaslight the audience and tell us up because this and that, and because we like the performance and because the passport. I'm sorry, we were not born yesterday. You cannot play with us like that. I can only imagine the poor person who is in charge of running Raul's PR agency or his PR agent every morning when he wakes up or she wakes up and they see the things that are being said, the things that are being published online. Like this person might be pulling their hair. I'll be surprised if they have like any hair left in their head, because how do you deal with this? It's like public statement after public statement, official press release just to clarify things that shouldn't even be said publicly. Like this is the type of things that we don't need to hear it. This is actually one of the reasons why the company is going downhill. Because y'all don't know how to speak publicly. You have no media training. You don't know how to address the drama. You don't know how to communicate with your audience. I said this before about other pageant owners. I talked about Nawad and I said, sometimes Nawad, he says some things that are really, really dumb. To be honest, I don't even think that sometimes he means it. I think it's a language barrier or something. So he should have a PR person doing the talking. Take a seat. You are making the money. You are the owner of the organization. You don't need to do everything. Take a seat and let a communication specialist, someone like a PR person, take care of the public communications. When you think about pageant owners, how many of you realistically even know what the owner of Miss International look like? How many of you? How many of you have heard her speak publicly? How many of you are familiar with the owner of Supra, with Gerhard? How many of you have heard him speak publicly? Rarely. How many of you know the owner of Miss Earth? Most of us know her. How often does she speak publicly? She doesn't even like to make a statement. She is camera shy, But then you have these people who always want to be in the spotlight, who want to say the most, who want to defend every single decision. And they are the ones actually creating the drama, creating the controversy, and then, putting the contestants and everyone in a position that we just don't want to be in. Just to address the last segment where he was talking about the mixologists and the content creators who make up all this drama and they don't know what's going on behind the scenes, as we were some type of like dumb people. This type of content that we are doing is something that has existed for ages, way before Raul bought Miss Universe, way before he even got any interest in pageantry. Okay, so for you to come out and pretend like we don't know what we're doing, like we don't know what we're talking about, it means that you don't know. You do not understand the business that you invested in. It means that you do not know the industry that you're in. It implies that you do not understand what you signed up for the moment that you wrote the check to buy Miss Universe. Because in the same way that if you are the owner of a football team and you will be held accountable by the football fans if your team is doing poorly every single year, you cannot expect pageant fans to be silent whenever you are running the biggest pageant in the world and bringing it downhill. Because what the hell is this? What are you doing? What are you doing? Whenever we have to hold them accountable, that's where they pull the card. All these people, the social media people, the influencers, the content creators, the mixologists. I'm sorry, we are the ones keeping you relevant because God knows traditional media, and I'm talking TV, newspapers, radio, magazines, none of them care about you guys. A lot of you guys struggle to even find like a streaming platform, a streaming partner, a TV channel that wants to play your show. That is the reality in 2025. A couple of decades ago, it was a different story, but in 2025, it's a different thing. So you should be thankful for the ones who are showing up and who are supporting. When most of them pay out of pocket with their own hard-earned money to fly to whatever host country that you have, to pay for their own hotels, their own meals, own everything, even their own tickets to the shows, because you guys do not give any free tickets to the press, right? To go and support your delegates. Because I could show you my inbox right now, my emails, all of the requests that I get from traditional media, from TV channels, from streaming platforms, from documentary directors, newspapers, they all want to talk about drama. They don't want to talk about the new Miss Universe and, like the inspiration and the advocacy and the amazing philanthropic work that she has been doing. They want to talk about drama. They want to bring you down because traditional media in today's society, for the most part, does not believe in pageantry. So this is the type of things that you need to stop doing. You need to take accountability. You need to own up to your decisions. If you wanted to go this route, then go that route, but own it. Do not treat the content creators and the pageant fans like we are some sub-breed dumb people who do not understand the business of pageantry when we have been following it for way longer than you have. And have some integrity and respect for the delegates. Someone as Olivia Yacé, who performed at such a high level and who prepared so hard to go to Miss Universe, is the type of girls that you want to attract into the competition. And by treating them this way and coming out with this BS statements, you're only pushing away potential strong delegates who would uplift your brand. That's all I gotta say. You guys, let me know how you feel in the comment section down below. I'll prepare because I have to go. I'm booked and busy because apparently other pageants still want to work with us, even though you think we're dumb. All right, bye now.